Are you wondering if Facebook ads is still worth it for your contracting or landscaping business in 2025? If so, watch this video until the end because I'm going to be going through these 5 different talking points of whether or not Facebook ads is still right for you and your goals. What's up, you guys? This is Matt Thibeau here with Savant Marketing Agency, and in this video, I'm going to be breaking down 5 different discussing points of whether or not Facebook ads is right for you going into 2025 because a lot has changed with Facebook ads, and I can definitely hear a lot of landscapers are wondering, is Facebook ads still right for me? Does it make sense for my business? Is it too expensive now? Have the iOS updates, has that changed things? Is it even worth it anymore? Maybe there's some other competitors out there like TikTok and Google and all these other platforms. So in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down these 5 different touching points of just my thoughts and what we see in the marketplace right now for Facebook ads for landscapers and contracting businesses in general. So let's jump right into things. So first things first is that what you have to understand is Facebook ads is owned by Meta, and Meta is not going anywhere right now, right? If you don't know, Meta basically owns Facebook, it owns Instagram, it owns WhatsApp, it owns Messenger. Meta is not going anywhere, right? Meta is here to stay, right? For a long time, or at least until the foreseeable future, right? And so for people who are saying like Facebook is dying, that's just no longer relevant anymore, that's totally wrong. Because between all these different platforms that Meta has access to, including Facebook, which Facebook ads is a platform, right? These are billions of people on these platforms, right? And so if you're listening to people saying like, oh, Facebook, that's just like dying, that's not a thing anymore, that's absolutely wrong because there are so many people who still use Meta as a company and all of their platforms every single day. And so that's an important consideration to make, right? Something else too to consider is that, Facebook itself, let's just focus on Facebook. The people who are on there are about 30 plus years old and they are, middle class income. And these are your buyers. Like a lot of people will say, should I be on TikTok? Should I be here? Should I be there? My answer is go wherever your prospects and buyers are. And for landscaping and contracting businesses where you're looking for homeowners who are ideally married, have a family, they have good income, right? You want to be reaching those people, and this is where they're going to be, is on Facebook. So Facebook is not going anywhere. Meta is not going anywhere. And so I think that this is one of the biggest considerations to understand is people are always asking like, where should I advertise? Where should I focus on? You want to go where your audience is and where your buyers are. And in the case of, doing any kind of home improvement work, anything like that, working with homeowners, Facebook is still one of the best places that you could be for your business. All right. So that's tip number 1 or talking point number 1. Number 2 is let's just go into talking about targeting. Facebook is still, I don't know, actually there's no 2 T's in targeting, whatever. Facebook is still one of the best platforms for you to use for targeting on Facebook ads, right? Let's talk about Google for a sec. Google, you're focusing on keywords, and a lot of those keywords are going to be like expensive because competition has gone up, and competition has gone up on Facebook as well. And we'll talk about that in a second. But the amount of options that you have for targeting on Facebook is incredible. Just putting this into perspective, on Facebook, you can target people who have had recent life events. So they bought a new home, they recently got married, they recently did this, that. So that's extremely powerful, right? The second thing is that you can do remarketing off of your website or people who have interacted with your Facebook page or a Facebook post. So you can literally reach people for pennies on the dollar with remarketing strategies, right? Thirdly is that you could do custom audiences with Facebook ads. So you could literally, I've talked about this in other videos, you can literally take a list of your customers and put that into Facebook ads and say, go out and find more people like this or target these exact people. That's a really powerful strategy. And there's so many other strategies similar to this that you can do on Facebook that aren't really necessarily available on other platforms. And so Facebook, the targeting is incredible. And what I love about Facebook too, this is just another point, is that, I'm not hating on Google ads. Google is great. But the problem with Google is that every single contractor wants to bid on Google keywords. And so that's literally like 5% of the market are people who are looking through Google and searching for a job done right now. Like those Google leads are hot. But Facebook, the advantage that you have is that not a lot of other businesses are willing to put in the work to maybe preemptively educate or indoctrinate prospects on Facebook, right? And so while everyone is fighting over, these expensive leads on Google ads, and they want the hottest leads that are like ready to go right now, if you just have a good strategy on Facebook, you're able to get cheaper leads, and you'll be able to reach the buyers who are just doing the homework first and education, so that when they are ready to pull the trigger right then and there, then you've just acquired your customer for way less than it would have been for Google, right? And so these are some of the reasons why I would say that the targeting on Facebook and just the way that Facebook is built in general is still very much worth your time. And when you're looking at other platforms, it still makes a lot of sense, right? So let's kind of like address, I would say, the elephant in the room, or this is kind of what I hear a lot, is a lot of contractors will say, well, man, the competition has just gone way up on Facebook. Back then, leads used to be way cheaper. Everything is going up in cost. Is it still worth it for me to run Facebook ads now that there's all this competition, right? And I'm going to share with you a couple of my thoughts. Number one, competition is good because it means that it's working. So that the fact that there is competition on that platform means that people are using it because it is actually working and providing results, right? So number one, you never want to go into a platform, or just in business in general, into like a market where there's no competition. Competition is a sign of a lucrative or flourishing market, right? So competition is good. Second, though, is that the good news is, even though there's more competition, and yes, costs are going up, but that's just because costs are normal now. Back then they were just like crazy cheap. But now, because competition has gone up, that means that it's actually easier to stand out though too, because if you just go a little bit of the extra mile and do things slightly different than what every other landscaper or contractor is doing, then you're going to be able to really stand out. I talk about this in some of my other videos where, the importance of just using your personal brand in your ads. Using your personal brand is one of the easiest ways to stand out from the competition, because so many other contractors aren't willing to actually leverage their personal brand and go that extra mile. And this is just one of the things that you can do to really stand out from your competition on Facebook. Another thing that we'll talk about in a sec is most contractors are just doing the bare minimum in terms of like sales. Like they're not following up with their leads. They're not trying to nurture their leads or do anything like that. So yes, competition has gone up. However, if you just are willing to put in the extra work, just do things a little bit differently, and just do a little bit more homework than the average guy that's literally just pushing boost on a Facebook post, you're going to be able to get ahead on Facebook. And that is a big opportunity right now, because yes, there's ads that are out there, there's more of them, but it's not that hard for you to stick out if you're following some of the advice I give on this channel, where every single day, like we're working with clients, we know exactly what works. So I have other videos on this channel of talking about like different creatives, different angles you can do for ads, so you can check those out. But you just need to be a little bit different than the competition, and you will have no problem whatsoever. Okay. Number 4, the tip there is you got to know your numbers, right? So I don't want you to see Facebook as just like this magic bullet where you put money in and then you just get rich. Like that's not a thing anymore. I don't know if it was ever a thing, but you need to actually have like an idea of the numbers and a solid system in place to actually take advantage of the opportunity of Facebook ads, right? So what do I mean by knowing your numbers? Well, put simply, you need to understand at every level in the conversion funnel of Facebook ads of how something like this would work. So just to give you some quick numbers, right, that I talk about on this channel of kind of expectations. is that at least 50% of the leads that you generate on Facebook are going to go into an estimate. So it's like, don't expect every single lead to become an estimate or become a job. Like if you're comparing it to referrals or you're comparing it to something like that, like it's not going to be the same as that. So you need to understand a realistic benchmark for Facebook ads of kind of what the KPIs look like. So on Facebook, like I said, we would see about 50% of those leads receive an estimate. That's kind of like a baseline KPI you should hit for. If you do better than that, great. But you should aim for around 50% of your leads to receive an estimate. And of those estimates, you should aim for at least 30% of those estimates to close, right? And so this is like just understanding at a high level kind of the expectations and numbers that you should be looking for Facebook ads. If you want to dive a little bit deeper on that, I have another video. It's called how to calculate your ROI from Facebook ads. And you can go deeper into that. Like I show you a really easy formula that you can use for that. But you want to definitely know your numbers. And I would say that average cost per lead that you should kind of go for is around $30 to $50 per lead on Facebook ads for lead forms. Any higher than that, and now it's going to be a little bit of a struggle for you unless you're doing massive jobs where the average order value is $100,000 or something like that, like these backyard oases. But generally you want to go for around $30 to $50 a lead. And again, referencing back to 50% of those leads going in for an estimate and then 30% of those estimates closing. And you can start to reverse engineer that to know your numbers. All right, and then the last thing here, number 5, is overall just understanding that this is about filling the pipeline, right? So filling your pipe. So it's really important that you understand too that kind of the fourth point here is that this is a numbers game. And so you need to have a sales process in place for Facebook ads to be worth it for you. So you need to have things like a CRM. You need to call the leads quickly, and you need to know your numbers so that you can treat it like a numbers game. If you're going to be emotionally invested in Facebook ads, you're going to have a hard time because all of the leads that you're talking to, you're just going to run into some leads that aren't qualified, or you're going to talk to someone that you're not going to be able to book an appointment, and it's going to mess with your head. You need to truly see Facebook ads as a numbers game and just put the nurturing processes and sales processes in place and know the numbers. So then when you're going into all this, you're not going to be super emotionally invested. You're going to know and just trust the process. And then you're going to be able to definitely see some great results from Facebook ads. So see it as a way of filling your pipeline. Don't just see it as oh, I got this lead, I'm going to talk to this person. If they don't answer you fall apart and lose your mind. Look at it as a way to fill your pipeline, bring them through the process, and I promise you they're going to come out on the other end and you're going to be able to see some great results from Facebook ads. So short and sweet, would I say that Facebook ads are still worth it for a landscaping and contracting business in 2025? Absolutely. But you definitely need to have a good sales process. You need to make sure that you are going above and beyond what other people are doing. And also just recognize, like I said, Meta is here to stay. There's a lot of great prospects on Meta. So this is definitely not an opportunity you want to pass on. All right, guys. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you could do me a quick favor, subscribe to this channel so I can give you more great videos like this. And if you're watching this video right now and you'd like our help to grow your landscaping or contracting business, I'll put a link in the description. You can book a free strategy call with myself or my team, and basically we'll understand what your goals are, what you're trying to do, and see if we can help you hit that goal. All right, guys, I'll see you on the next one.